Could have been killed in the last 15 minutes or so. Shit. It was possible that whoever had killed him was still around. Finn tightened his grip on his gun as he scanned the room, paying particular attention to the nearly impenetrable darkness shrouding the overhead gallery. He didn't get the feeling that anyone was up there, but... "You find Cowan?" inquired the voice in his head. At least that was how Finn thought of his unwanted partner, David Baxter. The earbud was almost as bad as having Baxter in there with him. Not quite, though. Bax tended to lose his cool when things didn't go according to plan. If he'd been standing there beside Finn at that moment, instead of waiting in a parked car across the street from the ornate iron gates that were closed and padlocked by order of the U.S. government, Bax would be shitting bricks. "Yep," Finn replied, then added, "He's dead." The shit bricks started to drop, as Finn had known they would. Bax's voice went shrill. "Are you serious?" He didn't wait for Finn's confirmation, because he knew Finn wasn't a joking-around kind of guy. "God damn it, you weren't supposed to kill him!" Before Finn could reply, the distant, barely audible click of a door being unlocked had him pivoting in the direction from which it had come. There was no mistaking the subsequent sounds. Somebody was coming in the front door. His eyes narrowed. His muscles tensed. "Somebody's here," he growled at Bax, who was supposed to be keeping watch. "Do your fucking job." "What?" Bax sputtered. Me do my job. You fucking do yours. You said you thought he was in the house. When we got here and you went in, you said you wanted to talk to him. You didn't say anything about killing." That was all Finn heard, because as he retreated into the shadows at the far side of the room, he savagely pulled the damned annoying piece of plastic out of his ear and shoved it into his pocket. "Jeff?" Riley Cowan called. Her voice was tight with anger. She knew that flipping on the light switch near the door was a waste of time. The electricity had been shut off weeks before for non-payment, shortly before the government had seized the house, but out of habit she flipped the switch anyway. Big surprise. The darkness stayed dark. Fortunately, she knew her way around. Her former in-law's former mansion once had been her home, too. She and Jeff had lived with them for nearly a year, until Jeff had finished the in-house training program his father had insisted he complete, before buying their own lavish condo in downtown Houston. When Jeff had first brought her here, she'd been a 21-year-old newlywed straight from Philadelphia's poverty-stricken North Side, where she'd been working as a cocktail waitress to put herself through college. Jeff's parents' wealth had been as much of a surprise to her as her existence had been to them. That was 7 years ago. A lot had changed since then. To begin with, she and Jeff were divorced, and had been for a year and a half. Riley waited just inside the front door. Jeff didn't answer, didn't appear. Oakwood, all the mansions in Houston's exclusive River Oaks neighborhood had names, was a big place. 8 bedrooms, 10 baths, 15,000 sumptuous square feet, with its own swimming pool and tennis court and guest/staff house. Given that, even though Jeff was expecting her, it was possible that he hadn't heard her calling him. It was also possible that he was drunk off his ass and passed out somewhere, or so drugged up he was practically out of his mind. Actually, knowing him, one of those scenarios was more than possible. It was likely. The question she should be asking herself was, exactly how had she ended up becoming her ex-husband's keeper? He'd tried calling her first. When she hadn't answered, he'd texted her. "Got trouble. Meet me at the house ASAP." Typical Jeff. The only thing he ever thought about was what he needed. The sad part was, she hadn't followed through on her impulse to text back, "Go to hell." Instead,